Take the exit. Turn right into the drive-thru.
Nope, I'm making dinner tonight.
You don't have time. Josh has practice.
Oh, that's right. I'll just get a salad.
And fries?
No, just the salad.
But salad cancels fries.
Salad only.
Fries.
Salad.
Fries.
Food noise isn't fair, but Mochi Health is. The affordable GLP-1 source that puts you on the road to successful weight loss.
Hey, can I get the...
Fries.
Salad. Sorry.
Learn more at joinmochi.com. Mochi members have access to licensed physicians and nutritionists. Results may vary.
When you need to send the perfect rose bouquet, only one brand can say they've been the floral authority for 50 years. 1-800-Flowers. Why should you trust 1-800-Flowers? They hand-select every stem to ensure top quality. And with nationwide delivery, smiles and satisfaction are 100% guaranteed. And right now, when you order a dozen multicolored roses, we'll double it at no extra cost. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Order today at 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast.
Welcome to the Retreat Leaders Podcast, the show for visionary coaches, healers, wellness pros, and small business owners who aren't just here to host another feel-good getaway, but to build a profitable, impactful retreat business. I'm your host, Shannon Jamail, retreat strategist, business mentor, and owner of a 46-acre retreat center. I've hosted over 100 retreats around the world, and I've made every mistake so you don't have to. Each week, we'll dive into the mindset, marketing, money, business, and mechanics behind sold-out, profitable retreats. Plus, hear from expert guests who are walking the talk. Whether you're planning your first retreat or scaling your 100th, you're in the right place. Welcome to the show. Hey guys, welcome back to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. It's Shannon. I'm solo today, and I'm so excited to talk about a message that I'm very passionate about. And for those of you that have been listening for a while, you know that I've talked about this before throughout different conversations, but I want to do a whole show today. And I did write down some notes that I'm going to reference, but it's about being in the right room and why that changes everything in our business. Success in business is not just about tactics and tools and knowledge and execution and sales. And it's really about being in the right space. It's about proximity. It's about who you are around, who you are spending time with. It's about the spaces that you are in, the conversations you're exposed to, the people that you meet. It's about the network that you create. I've heard it said time and time again that your net worth is all about your network. And I don't feel like I really understood that until I myself started joining masterminds and groups and going to conferences and forums. And before you get shocked and fall off your chair or slam on your brake in your car, I want to be super transparent and tell you it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I even started doing this. For the first almost 10 years of my entrepreneurship, it was like I was a lone ranger. I shouldn't say that. I had my husband, and I had some other small business friends or other entrepreneurs that I would connect with, but for the most part, I was a lone ranger. 5 years ago or so, I joined my first mastermind. I don't want to sound like I'm exaggerating, but it literally changed everything. The trajectory of my business tripled, then quadrupled, then 10x'd. And ever since I've joined Genius Network now, I'm in my second year, I haven't quite calculated, and I should do that. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to challenge myself on how my business has changed and developed and grown. And not just dollars and finances, although that's an important thing, right? You're investing in these groups or going to these forums or going to these conferences, but also in just relationships, just community. Like it's completely changed. So it's something that I'm passionate about, and I really just want you guys to hear why I'm passionate and why it's important for you. It's important for you to be in the right spaces and to be in the right rooms and to be around the right people. So anyway, being in the right room, or we'll even call it proximity, changes the way you think. And this I can promise you 100%. I guarantee it changes the way you think. Some people think that growth comes just from books or podcasts or courses or lectures or whatever may be the case. But really, the real big shifts, the biggest shifts, I would dare say, comes from exposure. Exposure to groups, and organizations and forums that have people in there that stretch your thinking, where you hear conversations that say, how do we scale this? How can we make this happen? How can I grow this? The creativity in the thinking, the creativity in the connections, the relationships that are developed. It literally changes how you think. Because when you're in those types of spaces where people are stretching themselves and they're looking for ways to win versus surrounding yourself with people who are constantly complaining, who are telling you that that's impossible, who are saying, yeah, well, that's just the way it works. Well, it's impossible in this world. The economics are terrible. They are just playing small or have scarcity mindset, which is a lot of people, okay? Which do you think will help your business grow? Which room? The room with the people who are trying to scale and grow and creatively finding ways to win, or the room that has the people who are complaining about the world? I mean, I'm not trying to sound dramatic, but it is. Like, which of those spaces do you think you're going to most likely succeed in? And just really ask yourself that. Because your brain will literally calibrate. Your brain, your thinking, your decisions, your actions, everything will calibrate based on the spaces that you are in. So which spaces do you want to be in, right? Being in spaces also raises your standards, right? This is one of those benefits that I will say is underrated. I know for a fact, first of all, when I joined every mastermind I've joined, I was like the small fish in a big, not even pond, y'all, ocean, okay? And being in those spaces, being with people who are doing the damn thing, who are making things happen, and not just business and finance, but yes, in business and finance, but in their health, in their relationships, in the quality of their life, man, it changes your own standards. It makes you think of the qualities of the aspects of your relationships, the quality of your business execution, the quality of everything you do, how you show up, how you talk and speak and present. If you haven't already listened to the podcast I just did with Joe Weldon, who is in Genius Network and has taught me so much about energy and presence and how you carry yourself and the conversation that you have, that affects everything. And so being in these spaces, being in spaces like masterminds or like the forum or summits that are important to you, they change not just your thinking, but they raise your personal and professional standards. This can affect everything about your retreats, everything about your coaching business, everything about your interactions with your clients. It can change how you think and how you, your expectations on every aspect of your business and your life. Okay, let's talk about hidden opportunities being in these spaces create. This one, I feel like it's obvious, but maybe it's not obvious until you're actually in the space. Because the opportunities and collaborations and creative thinking and networking is unlimited. And the only way that these collaborations can happen is through real life conversations in person. I've said this before on my show. I've said it on Allison's show. I've said it in multiple conversations via email, on Zoom, phone calls. I have said it over and over, and I'll say it until I have no breath left. If you want to collaborate with me, or if you want to collaborate with somebody who is really wanting to grow and be on that winning mindset, you've got to have in-person conversations. You need to show up to spaces that I'm in. You need to show up in spaces that the people you want to work with are at. You need to be there in person. That's how collaborations are formed. I've said it before that the collaboration of myself and Aaron and Allison with our forum that we're doing in Denver and the forum that we're doing in Paris would never, ever, ever have happened if we hadn't all gotten together in person in France and met and worked together on a whole different thing. We showed up together. And if we hadn't done that, this collaboration wouldn't have happened. And same thing with many other deals that I have going on. Deals doesn't sound like the right word, but many other programs and trainings and just collaborations. They would not have happened if I hadn't met the person in person and shown up in different spaces. And so I cannot speak it enough, or cannot say it enough. Obviously can't speak it enough either, but I can't say it enough that you have to show up in person to these spaces. You can't sit behind your desk and be a keyboard warrior and expect for you to be invited into these powerful spaces. You gotta show up, okay? You don't know what that will unlock, whether it's the collaborations, whether it's speaking opportunities, whether it's referrals, partnerships, an introduction. In Genius Network that I belong to, one of the things that happens is when we meet, you can meet monthly, is we get to know each other. We get to know each other's business. We get to know each other's strengths, skills, and all that stuff. And then when we meet someone that says, I need to learn how to speak better, I can say, you know what? I know Joel from Genius Network, who is a speaking coach and is fabulous. Or someone says, man, I'm really struggling with learning how to invest my money. I'm at that place I need to invest. I can say, hey, you know what? I know this really great guy, Will, who can help you with that. Or maybe you say, you know what? My branding is all over the place. I feel like I just don't know where I'm at with my branding. I can say, you know what? I know this really great person, Jade. So you get the idea. Being in the spaces in person is how these relationships are formed. It's how business grows in 10Xs, 20Xs, and all the great things. And a lot of times they happen organically, just by being there and getting to know someone, just by having a conversation. A lot of people think that you go to these places and it's like, let me get there and I'm going to pitch to everybody my amazing thing that I'm doing, my amazing retreat. I'm just going to start pitching to everybody. Negative. That's not how it works. It's just organically understanding people, creating relationships, and you will be shocked at what will form when that happens. So, but you only build it through presence by being there.
Hey guys, Shannon cutting in here real quick. Listen, the Retreat Industry Forum is happening May 14th through 17th in Denver, Colorado, and it's not your average feel-good conference. This is where bold retreat leaders, venue owners, industry pros, small business entrepreneurs come together to disrupt, challenge, and advance what's possible in our industry. You'll get cutting-edge strategy, real-world business tools, and high-level conversations about profitability, innovation, and sustainability without the fluff or kumbaya. Join myself, my friend Erin and Allison, along with other powerhouse leaders for 3 immersive days of connection, collaboration, and serious business growth, plus an exclusive VIP experience for those ready to go even deeper. Get all the details and grab your ticket now at retreatindustryforum.com. This isn't just another event, you guys. It's the movement that's reshaping the future of the retreat world.
Let's talk about why y'all avoid this, why you avoid proximity. Some of the common reasons are, I'm not ready. I hear this all the time, especially when it comes to like things like our forum that we're doing, where we're really teaching business entrepreneurs how to add profitable retreats and how to grow that retreat business into their current model. And I've heard it so many times. I'm not ready. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm scared. I don't think I have what it takes. Maybe I just don't belong in that room or whatever may be the case. And so they let these fears and these doubts hold them back. Another one that I hear, and they don't say it in this exact verbiage, but it comes clearly across this way, is I'm too good to pay to be in those spaces. Okay, let me just tell you, as a paying attendee to many conferences in the last 5 years, masterminds and groups, I get so much more business as an attendee than as any kind of facilitator or speaker. And I've been a speaker and a facilitator at many conferences as well. I always walk away with more business as an attendee. And so if you are of the mindset and you're listening to this and you're thinking, I'm not going to that, they should pay me to be on the stage, or I should be on the stage teaching that, I'm not going to go as an attendee, that small-mindedness will kill your long-term growth, will absolutely kill it. And I'm going to be super harsh about it, because I can get in any space of my industry and learn in that space. I can learn from both the speakers and the fellow attendees. I can network with my fellow attendees. I grow my business more as an attendee or a participant. I'm just going to tell that to you guys. So for those of you that are listening and are like, yeah, I should be the speaker for that, or I should be the one leading that, or I want to collaborate with you on it and not come as an attendee, you're missing out. you are missing out and you're doing a huge disservice to yourself. Okay, I'll leave it there. The other concern, or why maybe entrepreneurs avoid it, is money concerns, right? Let's just put ugly on the table. It's an investment, so there's travel. There's just this cost that's involved. And I'll tell you though, yep, there should be a cost to join a mastermind or a conference or a forum or a summit that is worth being there for. If it is free, it is rarely worth your time. Now, are there free tools that you can learn and use? Yes. Most of the time, as the attendee to a free whatever, you don't value it as much, so you don't even use it, or you don't even show up, or it just doesn't get the respect it deserves. And then the last part is it doesn't have all the value that you really need to move the needle. Maybe you'll get one small thing. Great. Congratulations. But to really move the needle in your business, to really see that growth that you're wanting to see and happen, you have to pay to play. You do. Or you will not respect it. You won't use it. You won't show up. You show up with a different energy when you pay. So there is an investment. And it does require an investment in the event. It requires an investment in travel. But the biggest investment is your time. That your time is more valuable than even the money. And so you want to make sure that you're investing your time in summits and forums and masterminds and groups that will help drive your business. And they're not the free ones. They're not the free ones. And so I've heard so many stories, and my husband and I have been there, where it's like, okay, I don't know where I'm going to get the money for this. Like, where am I going to get the cash for this type of investment? And if you really want to make the needle move, you'll find a way. And then when you do that, you show up differently. You show up with this energy of, I'm going to get everything out of here, and then I'm going to use it, right? Am I telling you to go into debt or get some craziness? No. If you're not ready, if you're truly not ready and it's going to hurt, and take away from your basic needs, then obviously that's just a different conversation. You've got to do some other work. But when it comes to investing, the only way to really move the needle is to invest in things that really, really grow your business, that raise your thinking, changes your thinking, raises your standards, and that's by paying to be there. And if that means you do have to take a small business loan to make that happen, that's what you do. That's what business owners do. They invest. And you'll get more out of a room full of people who are expanding than you will from any course you can take. Hands down, always. And so invest, because those rooms are exactly where you want to invest and where you want to be. Okay, let's go into the difference between good rooms and bad rooms. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because in a previous podcast, Dora Rankin and I did a podcast basically on this, how you got to be a good discerner, I guess, of these types of events or any type of event or any type of room. You got to feel it out. And so the things that you're going to want to look for, because not every room is your room. Not every room is your room. The Retreat Industry Forum in Denver and Paris is not your room if you are not going to do retreats. Can we teach you things about your business? Yes, we're going to talk about AI and SEO and messaging and Facebook ads. We're going into it all and every entrepreneur can absolutely learn something from it. But we're tailoring it all for people who are doing retreats or who are going to add it onto their already successful business model. So not every room is for you, right? But the things to look for in the rooms that you think you might want to be in are, number one, leaders who have actually built the damn thing, right? Not just good marketers. The real operators, the real business owners who have built the thing that you want to do. There are conferences that are out there in the world that claim they can teach you things, that say they're going to have these expert speakers. And then you find out that the speakers maybe are not the experts, have not actually built fully what they are teaching. I don't like that. To me, that's fraud. You want to be in spaces where the speakers, the workshop presenters, the leaders, the lecturers, they have done exactly what they are going to teach you. Not just learned it, and not just once. I'm just going to be honest. One time doing it, that's a one-off. Repeating it, scaling it, That's success. That's when you become an expert, and that's when you should be teaching it. So making sure that the people who are leading it and teaching, they've done the damn thing, right? Just making sure. Making sure there's people there that are willing to share real insights, and in rooms that encourage collaboration. I've seen events and summits where they want the only collaboration to happen is like with them by their programs, the speakers' programs, speak on, sell from the stage, and you can only do that. And it like, whatever. There's just this kind of like sheltered, I don't know. You want to be in spaces where they're encouraging collaboration. They're encouraging networking. They want you to, it's not coming from a place of competition or ego. It's coming from this collaborative energy. Like that's huge. I've said it before. The collaborations that I'm doing with people, like I'm doing with Aaron and Allison, I'm doing with my friend Casey, I do with my friend Kim, like these collaborations, these programs that we're doing, we could be competitors. We could. We are not. We're collaborators. We choose to be collaborators, and we welcome it. I welcome Aaron to work with other people in a similar fashion, and Allison, and everybody I work with. I want the more collaboration, the better. The more networking, the better. Look for the right energy of the room, right? And so you want spaces that are going to expand your thinking, challenging you to grow, and not keeping you small. Okay, all right. Let's talk about these spaces for retreat leaders specifically. Retreat leaders need these spaces. Our business can feel super isolating. I said it earlier. You could feel like you're on this lonely island, and so you've got to be in spaces that will help you grow. And not even, I'm going to say this too, which is totally kind of off topic, but not really. Not even just masterminds or summits or forums. That to me is number one, without a doubt. I'm a big believer, try to do at least one a quarter. If that's really not in your wheelhouse because of the season of life you're in, maybe you have young kids or aging parents or whatever may be the case, and you're also doing retreats and you've got other things going on, 2 a year. But personally, one a quarter. Also think about co-working spaces. And I'm saying that in my beautiful studio in Austin, who also has a co-working space. And I've been using it since I started using the studio, and it's amazing. Rather than just being in my home office by myself, I'm around other energy. It's amazing. Being in the right space, retreat leaders, you need it because you can feel very isolated. And so, but when you're especially retreat leaders, or people who are in the retreat industry in general or want to be in the retreat industry, when you're around other people who are in the same type of industry, man, you can share strategies, you share best practices, you share challenges, you create this true connection. Is that weird? Yeah, it's a connection. I mean, you troubleshoot together. You learn what's working for people. You learn what's not working for people. You offer ideas and suggestions and just support. And that is, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do this alone. And so finding these spaces is super, super important. You want to choose a few strategic ones a year, like I said, one a quarter, if possible, at minimum twice a year, if you can. Okay. All right. I'm gonna end it here. I feel like I'm super passionate about this, and I could go on forever. And you might be like, okay, Shannon, I get it. But I believe out of everything we do as small business entrepreneurs and as retreat leaders, all the stuff we do, the courses we take, the conversations we have, our AI assistant, the marketing strategies we learn, the sales tactics we learn, the tips, the tools, the podcasts you listen to, the books you listen to, all of it, gather it all up, all of it. I get rid of every one of those and go to in-person live events first and foremost. That's how important it is to me. That's how much my business has changed since I've introduced it. I truly was playing small. I truly was playing small because I didn't realize how big I could play until I was in those rooms. I didn't even realize it. You got to get into the rooms. I hope to see you at the forum, or at least to hear about the rooms that you're getting in. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in to the Retreat Leaders Podcast. If you love this episode, please make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your retreat besties. Want more support? Grab free resources at theretreatleadersplaybook.com. Until next time, lead boldly, serve deeply, and retreat profitably.